All right, hi everyone. As promised, we are back with a full review on Attack on Titan.
It's been no, wait, it's literally been exactly 1 week, right? Because we filmed this last Saturday. Today is Saturday,
Oh, damn,
right?
time goes by so fast.
Wait, did we film it on Saturday or Sunday? No, wait, hold on. Actually, really check because I thought we filmed it on a work day.
Yeah, we filmed it on Monday.
We filmed it on Monday?
Yes, I was like, no way we filmed it
No
last
wonder
Saturday.
where I knew, and Monday was a crazy work day for me. So
So it's been 5 days.
it's been 5 days, but I can tell you guys, I'm in a much better headspace and
Yeah.
way less emotional than I was on Monday. To give you guys some background context, you guys already know this, but Misha and I do work full-time jobs. I was very stressed out from work that day just because it's the end of the year. There's a lot of deadlines. Misha's birthday just had passed. I was stressed out from work. And then at the very end of the workday, and I was like working all the way till 8 p.m. Like basically from 6, actually remember, yeah, I got basically bamboozled in the morning.
Yeah.
I was up at 6:30 all the way until, and I was working until 8 p.m. And then Misha's like, we have to shoot the special too. And I was like, okay, fuck it, let's do it. We filmed it. I was so emotional, just all the way around. I mean, of course, my emotions were aligned with how I felt with the movie, but it was just way too amplified. And it was almost to a point where any words that were going to come out were going to be so
It was gonna stop you from actually making like a logical,
assessment.
assessment
Exactly.
of the show.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm happy. One, I'm happy that we did shoot it then because I was able to give my raw emotions to it. Maybe too much raw emotions, but I'm also happy because this gave us like 5 days to rewatch specials 1 and 2 again, and to come back, decompress. Misha and I have had nonstop discussions about how we feel about
Yeah.
the ending, for us to get to this video where we can be as efficient as possible and not just ramble about random stuff.
Yeah, that's perfectly said. With that being said, we will go into talking about our raw, real reactions right after we watched it, and then
Yeah.
we can talk about how we feel about it now because I think our perspective probably changed like 10 times.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the show's the GOAT because it's supposed to leave you pretty ambiguous about what's going on. And I can shed light about how I felt, but do you want to go first and just explain how you felt right after
Yeah.
compared to what you're feeling now? Or I guess we both can just talk about how we felt, our initial reaction when we watched it.
Yeah, I think before we get into that too, we can give you guys kind of an idea. We did make like some bullet points of how we want to go through this video. So like Mish said, we're gonna give our raw how we felt while we were watching the
We're gonna
special
raw
two.
dog it.
Raw dog it. Not as raw as Monday, but today will be a much more simplified raw dogging. If a 10,000 version of raw dogging. So we'll go through that first emotions. We'll go through how Mish said how we felt after, like today, 5 days later, and then we want to go through all the timestamps that Mish wrote down to go through the entire episode, and then we're gonna give like our perspectives of how we are analyzing each of those moments. And then at the very end, we'll give our like favorite, not at the very end, sorry. Then we'll kind of give like an overall review of Attack on
Yes.
Titan, the series and whatnot. So I think we can go start from there.
All right.
So, Raw Dog, first impression. How'd you feel after? I'll let you go first.
Oh, I'm going first.
Yeah,
Okay.
because mine was already, there's a lot of emotion.
Honestly, for me, it's going to be completely different from D. There
Yeah.
is two parts of my brain that was kind of fighting itself from my very, very first reaction. And it was more towards like the second half of the special two or towards the end because when I felt like when I was watching special one and then the beginning of special two, I was like really immersed
Yeah.
and I felt my emotions, right? But I think towards the end, when things started getting complicated,
Yeah.
and then them
Lots of information.
going into the coordinates and all the information, them stripping away the Titan powers, honestly, I was really fucking confused.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
was a lot happening all at once, and then at the same time, I was honestly very worried about you because you were really breaking down for 30 minutes
From
straight.
simple scenes,
And I've never
guys.
seen D like that.
Guys,
So
I
and she was like fidgety and like she was like hyperventilating.
There was a
I
lot
know you
going.
can't really see it on camera, but
yeah, you
when
could feel it.
you can feel it. Like her energy was very like anxious, and it made me feel very anxious. And then at the same time, trying to grasp what was happening on in the show, and then just trying to figure out, because the way my brain works is I always need an answer for everything.
Yeah.
And when I don't understand it completely, I can't be emotionally invested.
Yeah.
So when I was watching certain parts,
Very different from how me and you understand and interpret situations.
yeah, it's just how
because-
my brain works. I just
Yeah.
like really, I have a strong will to really understand a character. And this is mainly talking about Aaron. And it's just the whole thing with the past, and then explain that he was just an idiot and he just did it on impulse, and then him crying about he didn't want to die, and then him getting his mother killed. It was like so much for me all at once that I couldn't wrap my head around his character because it was so complex and I couldn't understand. And this whole entire time, I think I was justifying his character because at the end of the day, he always wanted to do all of this. He wanted to do all these horrific things because he wanted to save his friends.
Yeah.
And then what I come to realize now, we can talk about our perspectives now. It's actually all goes hand in hand together. And actually his friends, saving his friends were kind of secondary to what he really wanted to do. But his biggest dream was just, you know, the
To have
rumbling,
fr-
to have freedom. His real
Yeah.
desire was to have freedom.
Yeah.
And his initial, I mean, we can dive into this deeper, but I think that's where I had my mind was like fighting with each other because I just didn't understand him. But you know, we'll talk about it later. I think I understand him a lot more because he's just more complex than what I was trying to make him to be.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, for sure. And I think this is, I'm going to be pausing a lot just because I'm trying to really think of how I can explain things and articulate things where I make sense. Because in my head, it's like I'm thinking one thing, but it's like my mind is moving so fast when I'm thinking about
Yeah, me too.
Aaron and what's going on in Attack on Titan. And then how do you wrap your head around the ending? And if I find the ending to be satisfying to me, I guess I can start there. Because you guys already know
Before
my
you
first.
say that, that's perfectly how I felt. Like I didn't feel satisfied.
Yeah.
But now I feel more satisfied after rewatching with you and then hearing other people's perspective. But I
Yeah.
don't know how everyone's first reaction to watching the ending, but I didn't feel that way. I felt more confused and wanting to learn more about Aaron's character because I deeply wanted to understand
I
why he
think-
did this.
And I think that just goes to show how good the writing is. I forget the author's name. I feel so trash for
Isayama?
Isayama. Okay. He is literally probably one of the best writers I've seen.
Agreed.
And just the way the story was executed, or the way the story was written and executed and put into the manga and made into anime, it's amazing. So, one, of course, hats off to this guy because he's a fucking tactical genius. He is so genius that the way he wrote this story was meant to be all gray areas. And it's meant to be ambiguous enough where it just sparks so many conversations between different individuals. And this is what makes the human psyche and just humans in general so beautiful, is that we are biased and we have our own interpretations of how things are made. So even as Mish and I finished on Monday filming, and then we rewatched it during the week, and as we discuss it every single day, I find myself having new revelations or new standpoints or new favorite characters, and it's really difficult because typically I'm so headstrong about like my favorite characters in anime or in just shows in general, but this is like the one series where yes, I have like one or two characters that are really my like diehard favorites, but all the other characters like switch all the time for me. And I think it's just because there are just different emotions that will make me relate to that character more. And I just find ourselves finding out more about Aaron and what his true, or maybe the way that our minds work is we are trying to understand him in a way where we can justify for him.
Yeah.
And so
But
we feel good
Yeah,
at the
right.
end. And even
And I
obviously
think that's my fault because it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
It's because he is Aaron.
Yeah.
And he's a tragic character, and
That's why he's so well written.
this was the very brutal thing that he was willing to do, and it's just honest, and that's it.
Yeah.
Period. And that there's multiple things that all can happen at once, and there's no clear cut answer.
Yeah.
It's not an end all be all
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Exactly.
He's able to be this horrible villain who's willing to end 80% of the world, but at the same time have revelations that he wants to save his friends, and he hates this part of himself, and he wants to be with Mikasa, and he doesn't want to die.
Yeah, he has a lot of torment, and I think that's what makes his character, just like we said, it's so beautifully written. And it's anyway. That was a long-winded way of just saying, whatever Misha and I say in this video today, our opinions can very well change literally as soon as we're done clicking record, or tomorrow, or the next day, or 1 year.
Yeah.
But that's what makes Attack on Titan so beautiful. Who knows? Maybe we'll come back in 5 years and rewatch the whole entire series again, and we'll have a completely different opinion.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of this story and the way that these characters unfold. And it's so cool to read your guys' perspectives and hear everything, because we've been getting a lot of things from our mods, from YouTube comments. And now that the whole floodgates is open for us, we're able to see other people's perspectives. So it does bias my opinion a little bit. It does like make me open my mind to think, oh, maybe Eren was a slave to Ymir the entire time. Who knows? But I
Right.
think that's what's dope about this, and why people love these kind of or our type of discussions, just in general, because we try to be as open-minded as we can and try to put ourselves into the shoes of that character to see how we would respond to it and how we feel about it. Anyway, so I think we got through that first portion, which was our initial reaction after the movie. I was obviously super emotional. Misha's very confused about a lot of things. I was also very confused. 5 days later, where we are now, it's like we have a little bit more of an understanding, but we're still a little confused. But we are trying to unravel it as we go along in this discussion.
We have a better understanding of what went down, but we are still like, damn, why would you do that kind of thing? Or
I think it's
that
a
doesn't
shock
make
still, too.
sense.
You know?
Or like, if I was in your position, I would never do that. Or this character would never, it's like more of that.
Yeah.
But as we go along with the timestamps that we have here, we can discuss it more.
Yeah.
But
Let's go through that.
let's start
This
with
is podcast style too.
our top 5 favorite characters,
Yes. Okay.
and
let
then
me
we'll
pull
go
up my list.
into special 2.
Do you want to go first, or how do you want to do it? Do you want to go like your top 5 and then my top 5, or are we gonna go like bar for bar? Like here's our number 5, and then we go number 4, and then we 3 and 2 1. How do you want to do it?
We can do that.
You want to do it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up my list.
I changed mine like 10 times.
I have been Mish literally called me out like 50 times yesterday, saying like, okay, make sure you write it down, because I know you like to change a lot. And I was like, honestly, I'm subject to change my answers all the time, because I really resonate.
I told her to write it down and really think about it, because the last thing that we talk about, she'll just put that character on her list when she's not thinking about everyone else.
I have very, very intense recency bias. Like, I don't know. I mean, it just is what it is. I can't even.
So
I did sit with these characters though for a minute.
Yes.
And
Now
I really
she
tried to
has
think
thought about it, and she thought about all the characters and what, like, throughout the whole season.
Yeah.
And now it's more of a accurate list.
Yeah. Fuck. And honestly, I'm looking at my list right now too, because I even put like, I basically have like a top 9 list, and the bottom 4, or like my 6 through 9. Sorry, wait, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I just only did 5 because I didn't want to confuse myself.
I know. I have my top 5, and then I have like 6 through 9, but they rotate all the time, and it just is how I feel. Okay, my top 5 subject to change, but this is where I am at right now. I'm gonna go with number 5 as Reiner.
Okay.
Because I love our boy Reiner. I know I've been a diehard person saying that he's going to die in every single episode since the reveal in 2-6. But our homeboy
Reiner too.
really is a fucking cockroach. And he was such a G about just literally doing whatever it takes for his Marleyan people. But then as soon as they found the common goal of stopping Eren to try to move forward for humanity, he was that dude. He would literally put himself in all the positions to be like that frontline man. And he was the person that like came running towards the parasite after it left Aaron's body.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was like the frontline person to kill it, you
Yeah.
know? And then like when he goes, how much more do we have to suffer? And he sees his mom who turned into Tyen, and he sees, you know, Annie and Peak trying to help him. It's just, bro is really a fucking MVP. I love that guy.
Yeah, he was such a tragic character.
Tragic
You
character.
really saw him do like the worst thing and then have a whole character arc realizing what a horrible thing that he did. And he's
Yeah.
a great parallel and reflection of Aaron, who's doing exactly what he did, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah. Last thing I will say about Reiner too, because I did read this somewhere and it was such a good, I forget what Patreon comment it was or who said it, but someone said that Reiner is a slave to his resolvement. Like he's fighting so hard in this world to feel some sort of resolve. And
Yep.
I just love that
It's like
about
me.
him because he just can't quit until he can justify his actions.
For sure.
And it's impossible. There's no way that you can run away from your sins.
Yeah.
Right. But he's trying his best to justify that or try to make it better. And I think that's what makes me so love his character so much.
I think that's why he's such a great counter character to Aaron and just understanding Aaron more because they truly understand each other on that scale. And because Reiner was really trying to justify his actions of, you know, taking down the wall and killing all those people. And he made it seem like he wanted to be a hero, but he made it seem like he was going to save the world and he was doing it for the Marlians. But in reality, his selfish reason was because he wanted to be a hero.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And there's something so real and honest about that. And that's definitely why I like Reiner as a
Yeah.
character. But my
Okay,
number five,
what's your number 5?
my number 5 was Hanji.
Oh man, that low? Okay, that's
mean,
because
there's a lot of
There's
characters.
so many characters. I just say that because she's very high on my list, and I just
Yeah.
it's okay, respectfully.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's gonna be like that.
Yeah,
on
for all the characters.
For our character, but it's because there's so many other good characters
That you really
too
love.
that I put them up before her, and
Yeah.
I just really love her too, even more so because of the special and her sacrifice, and I just really love her personality. Like out
Yeah.
of everyone, she's just the comic relief, and
Yeah.
she's so selfless.
She really
and I
is.
really love how she was a more, I don't want to say humanized, but after she became the commander after Erwin, I felt like because she tried to prioritize morals and humanize people and trying to save more lives, that it made her as a commander way harder than
Yeah.
when he was a commander.
Yeah, right.
Because
she's making the hard decisions.
yeah, she's making hard decisions, and I loved watching her trying to figure that out. And I felt like it was tragic for her in that end because Erwin he dealt with a lot of stuff too, but he was willing to kill a lot of people for
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Hanji had a different, unique perspective because she was trying to save everyone at the same time and
Yeah.
try to prioritize her moral compass, but it was so hard. So
Yeah.
there was something about that really made me respect her, and
Yeah.
then for her to go out in that way and be selfless.
Yeah. I have her higher on my list, so I'll give my position or I'll give my thoughts when I get to that point. Okay, that's great. I feel like those are good 2 top 5s. Okay, number 4. You want to go first with this one? Oh, mine is so good. I'm so excited to talk about her.
My 4th was Armin.
Whoa,
Yeah.
interesting.
My 4th was Armin because honestly, like my personality and how I am is I look at the world more in a negative light
Yeah.
and
Negative or realistic?
realistic, I guess.
Yeah, because
More
those are very
realistic.
different. Those are very different definitions.
But you know how when you watch Attack on Titan and the whole theme, you automatically when you watch stuff, you think of all the positive things
Yeah.
about the world.
Yeah.
I'm more like nihilistic in a way where like
Yeah.
it's gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's why that was like when Attack on Titan ended, I'm like, damn, Aaron did all this for war to happen again, and it's just human nature, right?
Yeah.
All this shit is gonna repeat, and then there's something so dark and tragic about that, and that's where my mind goes automatically, and then
Yeah.
that's where I understand Zeke and I understand
Yeah.
his point of view,
Yeah.
and that's why I feel like I understood his plan a little bit more. I was more fast to jump on his reasonings of the euthanization plan.
Yeah, for sure. It is much more straightforward. That's why.
But then I put Armin as my 4th because he is a reminder that there are beautiful moments in life. And that's what really struck a chord to me and made me, you know, you really need people like that in your life. That's why you're like an Armin to me, because
thank
you
you.
enjoy.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, the waterworks are gonna start coming. Fuck me.
You enjoy
don't
little
have enough
moments
tissues.
in life, and you value them, and that's
Thank you.
that
That's so
is
sweet.
why people keep they. That's why they live, and that's why they fight. Tatakai. Because of
Fuck.
Tatakai.
Misha's over here. You're getting a little emotional too. You're making
I know
me
my eyes are a
emotional.
little teary. It's now I can be emotional because I understand everything a
Yeah.
lot more. I'm not confused,
Wow.
but
Holy shit, that was so beautifully said. Yeah, wow. Okay.
But yeah, I
have so many
thought
things to
that
say.
moment in the coordinate and when he was talking to Zeke and how he was holding the leaf and he was reflecting on all the little simple things in life that made him happy.
Yeah.
And then Zeke finally waking up and he's like, oh yeah, if I can go back and, play baseball with Cassava again, I would give anything.
Yeah.
And there's something just so beautiful about that. And you forget, you live everyday life because I live on survival mode where I feel like I have to always do something to survive, but then you forget that there's beautiful moments that you
guess-
should cherish, and that's
Gotta stop and smell the roses.
and that's
Such a true thing.
the beautiful part of life. And
Yeah.
Armin definitely resembles that, and so that's why I put him on my
As your
4.
number 4.
Yeah.
I think, wow, it's really dope. And obviously, as we're going down the line, you'll see just how different Misha and I think too. We talk about this all the time that we're so similar and we have almost identical moral compasses, right? Moral compasses, aspirations, and like our goals are always aligned. We might have like some variations, but I think that's what makes, just without me having to get too philosophical and emotional again, I think that's what makes like a relationship and marriage so beautiful too, is having those things, like the core values of your relationship align. And that's what helps us drive to be better people and individuals, and then as a relationship and a marriage together. But at the same time, we have such different, the way our brains operate and the way we process our emotions and our outputs are so different.
Yeah.
Like literally almost like completely
night and
different.
day.
Night
Yeah.
and day. And it's just obviously just preference, and we're getting down the line, but it's like funny because Misha's bottom 4 and 5 are literally my top 1 and 2. And that was kind of
It's
a
probably
spoiler. It's literally reversed.
Reverse, yeah.
And it's just because I value those characteristics more in those characters than whatever you value as your top 2 and what makes you more gravitate to their characters. So anyway, but I just want to put that out there because I didn't know that you put them in 4 and 5. So it's like just,
You thought they were higher?
well, because I put them there. And of course that's just my opinion, right? And so it's just dope to see that we're such opposites ends of the spectrum when it comes to that.
Actually, they moved a lot, so
Yeah, I get that too.
I just tried to go with my feelings.
Yeah.
I just wrote down whatever came to mind.
This is definitely more of a podcast episode, and I love it. I like this type of. I like how we can speak freely, but also like in a organized fashion.
Yeah.
So my number 4, that being said, is Baddie Ymir. So I have 2 ways to differentiate Ymirs. I have founder Ymir and I have Baddie Ymir. I just call her Baddie Ymir because she's a baddie.
Yeah.
Even though her time form is not a baddie. But I would put Ymir in my top 4 because I love everything she stands for. And I had to put a lesbian in the top 5 just because I'm obviously fucking biased. And Misha and we would not be a Misha and D reaction if we literally kept asking for her for like the whole 4 seasons, right? We're like, where the fuck is she? Is she gonna come back? And like we literally don't see her again until we don't see her at all again until the flashback, until we see her in the paths in Special 2.
Yeah.
Which was so dope because I started getting emotional just seeing her there. But I just love how she's such a symbol of not giving up, not giving a fuck about what other people think, and just doing whatever the fuck she wants to do. Because that's because that's what she ended up doing, right? Because she was just like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not going to listen to anyone anymore. I'm going to live my life. I'm going to get my girl or try to get, Historia. And she also woke something up in Historia too and got her to be like, hey, you should fucking love yourself too and stop hiding from who you are.
Right.
And just be who you are, which is a lesbian.
Yeah.
Even though, she didn't get to be with her.
Yeah.
And I also love how she wrote her love letter. That shit was fucking romantic as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she didn't end up with Reiner because that would have been, that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, I also will also say I'm biased because one of my top favorite episodes of all of Attack on Titan is the episode where she wakes up. Or like, I think it's called Children, and I think it's episode 210 or 212. I forget which one. But that's literally one of my favorite. I cry every single time she wakes up. Like, I think she's in the path. I think she's in the coordinate. Right? Remember when she wakes up and she's like
Yes.
looking up at the stars and you see like the aurora lights
Yes.
above her?
Yes.
That shit is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I might have to make that my wallpaper. So that's my top 4.
All right. I think it's perfect to segue into 3 then,
Yeah.
because Ymir is my
Your
3.
top 3?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay. Explanations.
Explanation.
Why did you put her in your top 3? Is a big deal. That's a really big deal.
I mean, I think you guys already know, like by watching our reactions, like Dee said, we were asking for her so many times.
Yeah.
She's just a character that just really sticks out to us for some reason, and we really gravitate towards her.
Yeah.
And I think what it is too, like you said, our favorite episodes are the ones that she was in.
Yeah.
And,
yes. Facts.
like, we-
Such a real one, man.
Ever since she was introduced to Attack on Titan, we were wanting more and more and more of her. And
Yeah.
I think that's why she's my top at least. And I love how she is such a tragic character. She literally came from nothing. She was an Eldian who was a beggar, who was poor, who was pretty much homeless, and she
Living
was,
on the Marleyan
Right.
continent, which we didn't know.
and because the freaking evil on both sides, the Eldians made her a fake facade, gave her the name Ymir, and made her live this life because this is what she was supposed to be, and she really believed that. And then she ended up becoming a Titan because of that. She got
Yeah.
punished because she didn't live truly to who she was. And I loved how once she was awakened and she ate Marcel, this was her second time to shine. And
Let's
she
go.
really went all in and was like, fuck everyone else and live to be your true self. And
Yeah.
she kept saying that over and over to Historia. And I thought there was
Yeah.
something beautiful about that.
I love that.
What
She's
I was
such a
gonna
baddie,
say
man.
too, I just remember being drawn to her character from the start because she was always like a walking contradiction
Yeah.
to what she was saying, and she always put up this facade that she was selfish, but all
Yeah.
her actions said otherwise. And I just relate to that a lot because I can be a bitch, but
You're the
I
kindest
mean well,
person.
and
Yeah.
I'm more about like tough love and just having people live their true self is always better than being fake,
Hiding some
than hiding some
hiding behind some fake facade life.
Yeah.
And that's true. Damn, that shit really strikes a chord with us too, just from, being gay and, coming out and,
And
living your
I just
true
really
path.
love Historia and Ymir.
I just love them
love
too.
them.
I mean, okay. Shout out to
We're
Mango.
simps. What can you expect?
Drop down the fanfics for the Ymir and Historia stuff because I need to read that shit.
Yeah.
Also, it was funny because I forgot what was it. I don't know if it was the special 1 or special 2 when I was like, "Who the hell is Crystal Lens?" Remember when they said that?
Yeah,
And you
that
were
wasn't
both
too
of
long
our
ago.
faces. I was like, "Fuck!" I can't even remember. I forgot her name was fucking Krista. Anyway, should we go to my? Oh, you already did 3. You did your
Yeah,
3.
it
Let
was
me
pretty
do my
much
3.
Ymir because all my favorite episodes is literally with Ymir and
Yeah.
Historia, and
I agree.
the time when she wakes up and still like that badass moment where she jumps off the tower and cuts herself. It's because we didn't understand like other humans can be Titans. So
Yeah.
I think that was just such a shock value to us.
Yeah.
Even though her Titan form is ass, but I love her so much that I love her Titan form now.
Yeah, I agree. Even though it's so tragic that they gave her not as crispy of a look as, Falco and
Yeah.
Marcel and all the rest of them. And Parco. But I love her too. I can talk about Ymir all day
Yeah,
long
me
just
too.
because she's such a baddie and
She's just so cool to me.
fucking cool and doesn't give a fuck what anyone says. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You're 3.
Levi. I really wanted to put Levi in my top 2, but the other 2 people I put above him is for good reason. But my top 3 are so difficult to arrange them, and I'm sure it'll change over time. But I think actually my number 1 will always be the same, but my 2 and 3 kind of split up or mix around. But I put Levi as number 3 just from all his... I think about all my favorite episodes of Attack on Titan 2 and the scenes, and he's always in almost all of them, at least 90% of them. Just from him being a badass, even though he's a little short king, we love short kings. how he was able to take down Zeke. And I love how it was always like Levi versus Zeke, and
Yeah.
then just how that whole scene of him swinging from Titan to Titan and then taking down Zeke by himself.
Yeah.
And just so badass, like sticking his sword in his mouth and just being fucking crazy, and him going through, or Zeke basically blowing him up in season 4, and then Hanji stitching him up, and just, I broke down in special 2 when he like was sitting there and seeing all the fallen comrades and then like doing the symbol. Oh my god, that shit like solidified how Levi was gonna always be in my top 3
Yeah.
favorite characters, just from everything he stands up to be. Him being an Ackerman, him being connected to Mikasa. A spoiler alert, Mikasa and Eren are not in my top 3. But I love them as characters, but they're just not there. But I will always relentlessly put Levi in my top 3. And I just love everything about his character. He never faltered, and how he started literally from the bottom, like in the gutters of the underworld or wherever he lived in. And I love that OVA with him, and just his whole background. So yeah, Levi's my top 3. You already did 3. Okay,
I'm
2
gonna
and
go
1.
straight into 2. I'm gonna make this very simple because this is gonna go on forever.
Yeah.
My number 2 is actually Eren.
Whoa, really?
My 2 is
What the
actually
fuck?
Eren, and maybe a lot of people will be mad about that.
I mean, who cares? Whatever.
But
People don't understand.
Eren truly is the most complex, gray, villainous character.
Yeah.
And I've never felt this about any character. He's the only one I like think about all the time
Yeah.
because I'm so fascinated with him.
Yeah.
And there's something just so interesting and dark about his character that I really gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And
It's the
I don't think there's
complexity.
any other character that makes me think about them that much.
Yeah.
Because this whole week I've been trying to like dissect his character.
Yeah.
And I just think it's genius to have a main character that we thought was going to be a hero start from the beginning, and he could have
Yes.
been such a
Yeah.
he could have been such a fucking cookie cutter basic character who just
Right.
was angsty, childlike, and had
Right.
all this anger to save the world, right? But Isayama literally flipped on everybody, and he ended up being a fucking villain.
Yeah.
And
The
there's just
craziest
something
villain too.
so fascinating about that to me. It's you just want to learn more about that and how the human psyche works, and
Yeah.
just thinking about life in general. And I think that's why I put him as my top 2.
That's a great answer. And we can, like you said, we could talk about this forever, but something that I think about with Eren too, and maybe this is a discuss, or maybe my opinion will change too, but it's kind of crazy to think that his goal was to save his friends. Sorry, not his main goal, but of course he loves his friends, and he wants them to live long lives, right? That's why he went through all this rumbling, blah, 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 all this stuff. But there was a piece of him where he's talking to Armin too, and he says, my goal was the rumbling and to free everyone, but there was still a piece of me not knowing if you guys were going to die. And there's still that possibility, right? Even though he can see the
That's
future.
why it fucks me up when he says stuff like that.
But
That's
it's
why I
like-
think about it so
but
long.
doesn't
I'm
he
like,
know,
fuck, that's crazy.
because he's seen the future, that he knows that his friends are not going to die?
Yes, that's why he follows through with his plan.
Yeah, right? So still,
Well, like, I mean, I don't know. We'll talk about it
right?
later.
Yeah, we can talk about that
We'll talk
later.
about that
So
later.
that's what makes his character
That's
just
why,
really fascinating to me too.
yeah, we think about, like, there's so many contradictions and motives that he has that don't really make sense, but that's why you think about it so much, because
Yeah.
you're really trying to figure it out.
But see, this
that's
is-
why humans are so complicated.
Yeah. And this is why it's funny to me, because you put Eren in your top 2 and I don't even put Eren in my top 5. But that's because my bias towards him is like, I think he's fascinating and he's a great character, and probably my favorite character overall in terms of complexity and where his motives are. But I wouldn't pick him as my favorite because he's just not my favorite. So
Yeah.
anyway, but shows just how we think differently. So my top 2 is my number 2 is Hanji, hands down. Like, you guys saw how emotional I was in Special 1. What she did for the squad, and like Mish said earlier about just her taking up the responsibility of Erwin, was so difficult. And like, even to a point where she was able to cast aside her feelings and to become the commander and know how to make hard decisions. Because I don't even think Armin could have done that.
Yeah.
Armin was only able to to become the commander after Hanji gave him that, gave him that speech, or
Because
just like
she was
basically
actually
appointed
on
him.
the side of wanting to save Erwin over Armin.
Yeah, right, exactly. So she was exactly like that, and that's a tough decision to make too. So her characters, I really resonate with her just because of how consistent she was throughout the entire series. And I also really love her fascination and love for the Eldians.
Yeah.
She's probably I know Eren loves Eldians, but Eren loves Eldians in like a way of like freedom, not necessarily like, it's such a different way that the way that Hanji looks at Eldians, right?
Yeah.
She's like in constant fascination
Yeah.
about the Titans and the power, and kind of like similar to like
She was
Sava.
like the mad scientist of the Eldians.
Yeah, just like the same with Sava, right? Sava felt the same exact way and was fascinated with the Titans, but she had an ultimate respect for them, almost to the point where she didn't really want to take them down unless she really had to, but she was just fascinated. Even in the brink of her death, she was still so fascinated by them. So
Right.
respect to her. She's my top 2. Number 1 favorite character now.
Number 1 favorite character, you already know my favorite character. It's always, and it will be forever, Levi Ackerman.
So fucking good, man.
Levi Ackerman is the most badass, most consistent character throughout AOT, and that's says a lot about his character, that it's not in a way where it's like boring. It's interesting because he's so tactical and logical and level-minded, but also you can tell that he has emotions, but he uses it as a power in a way. And I just relate to him a lot because he grew up really hard and he had people that was supposed to love him leave him. But at the end of the day, he never let his trauma define him and never.
That's beautiful. Played the victim.
He never played the victim. And that's
Yeah.
why I love his character. And I think that's why it's so cool. And yeah, he is literally, everything was at odds with him. But he is literally the most powerful, normal
Resilient.
human
Yeah.
in Attack on Titan. He's not a Titan. He's not,
So
he doesn't have special powers. I guess he has
like this
the Ackerman resilience.
Yeah.
But the way he's able to take down so many Titans is crazy. Like every time he's on the screen, I literally get so hyped up. And
Fucking
it's
hype.
so motivating and inspiring.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to be a better version of myself.
Ooh, that was so beautifully said. I will go. Was that it? I mean, no, was that it? That was such a beautifully said. If you have more, I will let you continue.
There was more, but now I forgot.
You want me to let you marinate?
Yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was just going to go into my number 1, and it's very similar to your reason.
Oh, you're going into number 1?
Yeah, but I'll let you finish.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, overall, I just really love his character and what he stands for and how every choice he makes, he always says that there shouldn't be any regrets. And
Yeah.
it's just interesting how he always deals with his choices, and his relationship with Kenny was very interesting to me too. I
Yeah.
felt like that was a very emotional episode for me, and how they were trying to understand each other. But no matter how many horrible things happened to Levi, and of course, like all the people that died in his life, he was still always willing to push forward and do
The right thing.
the right thing.
And remember, even just like the episode where he had to kill all his friends.
Yeah.
That was, jeez, bro. That's why he fucking hates Zeke, bro. Like, so I totally understand like where he comes from.
Yeah.
They just have their own beef.
Yeah.
So, but that was so beautifully said, and I think that segues perfectly into my number 1. And I have the same exact reasonings as you do with Levi. My number 1 is Armin. Like, I feel like a lot of people put him lower in their list, but obviously that's due to their own bias and how what they perceive as the most important characteristics in their favorite type of character. I put Armin as my number 1. I was very, very conflicted with him, Hanji, and Levi too. But I think the reason why I pick Armin is because through and through, his character is very similar to me. And that's what makes me so drawn to his character and why he's my favorite. Like, now I feel like I can definitively say that he's going to be my favorite character throughout however many rewatches of Attack on Titan I have, just because of his moral compass his ability to see further than the moment, like his foresight, but still having like very, very high emotional intelligence. And I try to resemble that too, because obviously I'm very emotional, but I would like to think of myself as being very emotionally intelligent. There are times where, of course, it teeters the line of just being,
Emotional.
emotionally crazy. Yeah. Or just, emotional. But I really try to work on myself every single day to be emotionally intelligent and to make the right decisions around my emotions. And I think Armin is that, he embodies emotional intelligence, puts himself in other people's shoes and really tries to understand how they feel so he can make the right logical decision too.
Right.
And I think he really grows throughout the whole entire series and I love that scene that he has with Annie, because Annie tells him like, "Oh, you feel this way because you're a good guy." Even Aaron has that conversation with him when they're in the past. Do you remember Aaron's like when Armin says, "I felt like I too also had that dream of like kind of like wiping out everyone."
Right.
And then Aaron laughs at him and goes, "No, no, you don't. Like, you are not like me and you don't think like me."
Right.
But I think Armin had that conversation with Aaron because he probably thought, what is the point of fighting with you? Because you've already seen how sad your future looks like and you're going to die. So I'm going to be that best friend and
Hold
make
that
you
burden of you.
and hold that burden with you.
Yeah.
And like hold your sins with you, even though, yes, what you're doing is wrong, but I'm going to be the number one homie, make you feel good in that moment, even though
What you did was horrible.
what you did is horrible, but I'm going to make you love yourself.
Yeah.
Or like carry that burden with you.
Yeah.
And that's so much of me, what I do. Because sometimes people do just want to feel good.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hear the realistic things. And, there's a balance to that. But sometimes you have to be that
and then
friend.
that's why I was explaining that. That's why I liked his character, because that's who I need in my life too.
Yeah.
Because when I watched that scene, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I didn't
had this conversation too.
I didn't understand it right away. I was like, you're not at fault for helping him kill the world. You were just showing him
A book.
You were just showing him a book and that you have bigger dreams. Like that doesn't give him a reason. That's where my mind goes, know. But obviously, after you like rewatch it and you understand what Armin's trying to do it's because he wants to hold the burdens of his best friends and accept him for who he is and
make
help
him feel better.
make him feel better and help him
That's
live with
that
who
torment.
he is. With
Yeah.
his torment.
And
So he doesn't live with it by himself.
that's
And
literally
that's why Armin is such a big-hearted character.
That's why I love
lot of
Armin so
compassion.
much. He's literally my number one character because I literally do that for so many people in my life.
Yeah.
Where you can see their pain, but it's like, bro, what's the point? I'm not trying to make you feel worse. My goal is to leave every single person I meet in a better position than they were when I found them. And even if that means just putting a smile on their face or making them happier, like that makes me happy.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's what Armin is, even though he's done, and I think this is why I like his character too, because he's done a lot of horrible things too, right? He even says himself like, I'm a sinner too, and I'm not perfect. And that's why I like about Armin, because he's not, in the beginning, you think he's just going to be this good martyr or person that's the correct hero. But you see that he does a lot of terrible things too, kills a lot of people, kills his friends, becomes a traitor to Parody or whatever, but then still is able to make the right decisions for the good of humanity, not just his people. So that's why I love Armin. He's going to be my OG for forever, I think. But I love him so much I might get a tattoo of him. Just kidding. We'll see. We'll see.
That was a long explanation of our top 5 characters, but it is completely warranted. Let us know in
think
the
so, too.
comments your top 5 characters and why.
Yeah, please. And how they resonate with you, and if they.
But I think it's natural to put your number one with the person that you relate to the most or who you just understand the most.
Yeah.
And I think
Agree.
our number ones make a lot of sense.
They do. They really do.
Yeah.
Wow. How do you even go into the video now? Because I feel like this was already so good.
We will go into the video with the perspective of, or at least for me, the reason why I was confused throughout watching the special 2 the first time around is understanding the contradictions and Aaron's motives and if he has true agency over his actions, this is how we're going to kind of tackle special two is going through the timestamps. So for me, I was hella confused because I didn't know if Aaron truly had no control over his actions. If it's because he saw his future, he was forced to do all this and he doesn't want to. There was that. I wasn't sure if Founder Ymir was completely in control of him and he was the reason why he was doing the rumbling in the first place. Another reason thing was I thought that Aaron was doing all of this because he wanted to save his friends, but that's not true. I didn't understand why he got his mother killed if he was doing this all in the first place because he wanted to be free. Why would
Yeah.
he get his mother killed?
Yeah,
So
that
these
was
were
very
just
confusing.
a lot of complex things that happen, and I think it would be productive or good to just go through the timestamps and then
Yeah.
give our feedback.
Yeah.
Because we actually got a really good comment from our Patreon member, which kind of opened my eyes to an understanding that, he didn't do the rumbling just to save his friends. Like it kind of came secondary. It kind of
Yeah.
helped, and that was his reasoning behind justifying doing all of this. And that's why Reiner was a great counterpoint to this because Reiner went to go kill millions of Eldians, went to take down the walls and do all and live with the people and train with them and be friends with them to all take them down. To do the most horrific thing as well, right?
Right.
And he tried to justify in his head saying, oh, it's because Eldians are true devils. When deep inside of him, he didn't truly believe that. How
Yeah.
could you really believe that?
Yeah.
When you know that these people are completely innocent.
Yeah.
And he kept justifying in his head that, oh, I'm saving the world from Eldians and this is
Yeah.
the right way to do it and I will become a hero.
Yeah.
But in reality, his selfish reason was because he just wanted to be a hero.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
And that's
Period.
the same thing with Aaron. And
Yeah.
that helped me understand Aaron is because his selfish desire was true freedom. And it kind of always brings me back to the part where he truly wanted to do this, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I think he truly wanted to do this and no one was forcing him to do anything.
Yeah.
And he had a choice, but he didn't at the same time. But he was like a slave because he already knew that he did it.
Yeah. I agree with that. I
Yeah.
really think that's like, and there were some pieces of me where I was fighting that reality, or I was fighting that conclusion too, where someone shared this video of this girl explaining that Aaron is just a slave to Ymir. And a piece of me understands that because Ymir is obviously kind of like godlike, has these capabilities of doing whatever the fuck she wants with the power of the Titan, right? So she essentially does control all of the Eldians.
She actually makes really good points too.
But I actually understood what she meant there, when she was saying that she felt like there's a part of Aaron that is enslaved to Ymir, and I think to a certain extent it's true because she can basically make Aaron do whatever the fuck she wanted to do, but she was still enslaved by King Fritz. But even when Aaron set her free first, right? She was moving on her own motivations, but I felt like if she really wanted to, she could restrict Aaron too. But she just decided not to.
Yeah.
So I also agree that Aaron is not a slave to her, and he's just a slave to his future actions.
Yeah.
But he's a slave to his future, to his literally his future. Maybe not his future self, but like to what he's already bound to do.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's a slave because he already knows that he did it already.
But he can he can try to maneuver his present timeline as much as he can, but the result is always the same.
Yeah, it's always going to be the same because like the way they explain it in Attack on Titan, it's already happened. So I think that's why he just lets himself do it in a way because it's what he truly desires and what he wants.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree too.
Yeah, the whole perspective of her POV saying that the founder Ymir was the one that was controlling Eren, making him wanting to do the rumbling, and her stance was the Eren that we knew back then would never want this to happen. And I don't know why I disagree with that a little bit, but then I understand her point when I'm gonna go to this timestamp at 3:10. So in that TikTok video, maybe we'll link the TikTok video too because she explains. So we learn in this episode that Ymir actually is the one that lets the pigs go.
Yeah.
So we thought that she was wrongfully accused for letting the pigs go.
Yeah. But she actually did do it.
And
she did with a smile on her
and
face.
yeah, it was weird because it's like she wanted it to happen. She did it with a smile on her face.
Yeah, that's why I don't understand too.
Guys, please help us explain this moment and why she smiles.
Maybe because she like knew that she would get in trouble and then she would have to be forced to work with Fritz. You know?
Yeah, so in the TikTok video, the girl explains that she was always curating this all from the first place. And that she was, yeah, that part just always like trips me out because
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And what the purpose of that scene was. But I guess,
I think she does smile because she knows that she's gonna get taken by King Fritz. And like she's
being
gonna
tortured
get
and killed.
tortured and just like be closer to him, and I don't know, it's that weird Stockholm syndrome dynamic.
Yeah, but didn't she fall in love with him after this though?
Yeah. I think, but I don't know if she's able to see the future or something. She doesn't have the power of the Titan yet, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so maybe, I don't know, maybe she does know. I forget, I have to rewatch the story again, what happened here, but does she know that if someone she probably does know that if she were to let out a pig that she would get in trouble and then be enslaved to the king, right? Like,
Yeah.
these people have to know that she would get, she has to know that the consequences to her actions are going to be very severe and have to do something with the king. So maybe that's why she's smiling, because she knows that she'll be captured, because she
Yeah.
does it so willingly,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have the power of the nine yet. So
Yeah.
how does she know?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, let us know in the comments what Isayama was trying to convey here.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely want to know. Yeah, it's literally such a short clip.
She knows what she's doing. She left that shit open.
What does that mean?
What did the girl on the TikTok say? She just said that. What? How did she explain that scene?
I think she kind of just explained that she isn't the victim that we think she is, and
Yeah.
she is a victim. But she definitely is a victim because she is all the fucked up shit with the Stockholm syndrome
Yeah.
and being bounded by King Fritz's love
By your
and
captor.
But she was explaining that how she was curating everything, and
Yeah.
that's how she got the power, and she did all this stuff basically for King Fritz, and because she had so much torment and anger, she used Aaron as a tool to use the rumbling and make everyone
Yeah.
pay.
I mean, I can also see that. There's a piece of me that can see that too, right? Like you said, it's like she's meant to be kind of like a god.
Yeah.
She literally has godlike powers. So much so that even King Fritz couldn't really do anything against her. We all know that. He's human. But she's still a slave to whatever he wants her to be, whatever he wants her to
Right.
do.
Right. These are just scenes with
Oh man.
the
This shit
past
is
generations
fucking epic.
of the Nine Titans.
Look at the female Titan here. Obviously, you see all the Jaw Titans in the back.
This part of the special was so
What?
trippy to
So
me, and I
cool.
thought that it was a cool way to spoil us as viewers to see more Titans.
Hell yeah.
I mean, there's a literally Jaw Titans, Armor Titan,
Yeah,
Warhammer Titan, Female Titan, Beast Titan, all in one scene here. So now that we're talking about this, if you were to pick one power
Ooh.
of the Titan, what would you pick?
Damn, fuck me. I need some
You didn't
time
come
to.
prepared.
I did not come prepared. I forgot you're gonna ask me this question too. You go first, and I'll go after you. Maybe we need to list out all the powers. Yeah.
Attack Titan, Armor Titan, Colossal Titan, Female Titan, Founding Titan, Warhammer Titan, Beast Titan, Cart Titan, and Jaw Titan. Sorry, Jaw Titan.
Yeah. That's why I said. But the powers
which one would you-
of what they each do is a little bit different. Like for example, what does the female Titan's power?
She manifests people's abilities
Other
by eating
people-
them. That's what it said.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We know that for sure. We do know that.
I mean, that's what she said.
And then what's the Warhammer Titan's actual power? That they can
Babe, you
make
see
things
them-
out of.
Yeah.
No, I know, but you know how it's like. Let me look this shit up really quick. Okay, you go first then, if you know your answer already.
I'm gonna go with. I think I told this to Dee already, like what I would pick, and I think I would prefer the Jaw Titan power.
Jaw Titan?
Yeah, I don't want anything too complicated and weird,
Yeah.
and I think that the Jaw Titan, like when Marcel and what's the name, Porco had it, I think they look so dope, and I love how fast they are, agile and able to move around. And I feel like there's something so OP about just being able to freely move around and evade others. And if I'm being realistic, that's like a power that I would have. I don't want to be slowed down by the armor titan.
Yeah.
I don't want to randomly get the beast power and randomly be an animal that I don't
Want to be? Yeah.
I don't want to be the female titan have to randomly eat shit. The
The-
Warhammer titan looks freaky to me. The founding titan holds too many burdens.
Yeah,
The
that's
attack
way too
titan
many.
holds too many burdens to me. I would say like probably Jaw Titan and Cart Titan, and then female Titan.
I think that makes sense too. See, the way that they put female Titan here, it says agile, can harden specific body parts, attract pure Titans. But those are because of the abilities that she's able to manifest. So obviously, maybe this, we just Googled it really fast. So I feel like that this explanation is probably not
just
super
think
helpful.
of the your first top three.
But honestly, I think I would say if I could pick one of them, Loki, I kind of really liked, I think I might be female Titan actually.
okay,
I like how
female.
agile. I like how agile she is, and I like how she can eat anything that she wants and then get that power too. So even if I want specific type of powers, I can harness that. And I like the way that the way that a female Titan looks. Like she got a crazy body. So I feel like that'll be super
She
worth it
wants to
because
be a baddie Titan.
I would look like a fire ass Titan. I also think Warhammer Titan would be cool because I like how you can keep your body like hidden somewhere else and no one knows where your real body is. And I like the way that the Warhammer Titan looks. So I think I would go with those two. I originally was drawn to the Founding Titan because I think it would be really cool to manipulate stuff. But you can only manipulate memories if you have royal blood. But I feel like that's too much power too. And I think out of all the worst ones, I would never want to be the Attack Titan because I would not want to be the
No, the
holder of
future.
past. It says past and future.
Yeah, past and future.
Fuck
It's too
no.
much. Look at what happened to Aaron.
That's way too much. And that's because Aaron had way too much power, bro. And now that
And I really the Cart Titan is really cool too because her high endurance.
the high endurance.
She's not the most powerful, but because she's able to change so many times and then be in that form, is really cool too.
Very, very cool. I agree. I think
I don't want to be restrained to just being on all fours.
Yeah.
That's why the Jaw Titan
Agreed.
you can kind of stand too.
I think you actually
like.
picked-
I like how like you're just free as a monkey. And you
Yeah,
just move around. And you know how like your Mira was in the forest evading everyone, and she
Yeah.
had that advantage over everyone. I feel like if I was a Titan, I would want to have that type of freedom as a Titan.
I really understand that too.
Yeah, because you know when you're an armor Titan, you feel like you're almost even though you're so indestructible and you're a cockroach and whatever.
Yeah, you're big
but you're
and
so
slow.
big and slow. And I
Yeah.
hate that feeling. It doesn't feel as freeing to me. But
I
I love
get
how you're also able to break anything with the
your jaw. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I
It's so
think
versatile.
I think I really go more towards the female Titan because she can just do everything pretty much, as long as she's able to eat those things. I guess.
I think for me, I would not want to be a female Titan because I would just feel so insecure.
about your body.
Yeah, I would just feel so weird that I'm just like naked with tits.
Oh, running around.
Running around.
Why? That'd be epic.
I don't know. It just like makes me
Actually-
feel too vulnerable.
Actually, I
don't
agree
like
too
it.
because
It makes me feel weird.
I would like to wear crispy ass clothes. Honestly,
I
if I
don't
was a
wanna feel
Titan though, I
seen.
would wear a bunch of female Titan size clothes, so I can still look crispy. That's all
Who's
I care
gonna make
about.
that for you?
Oh, for you. You're gonna make it for me. I'm gonna have the Warhammer Titan manifest it for me. Anyway,
Oh yeah, you can make outfits out of the Warhammer.
Yeah,
liquid.
exactly. That'd be
you should just
crispy.
pick Warhammer.
honestly, no, I still pick female Titan,
Okay.
and I pick Warhammer Titan.
The Beast
after that.
Titan is actually really cool, but
Yeah, I don't wanna look
imagine you manifest a pig.
like, fuck.
That would suck. Or a snake that
would
we
suck.
saw in there.
Yeah, that
I
shit
do
was-
not want to be a snake.
Hands down though, the worst is the Attack Titan, and then Founding Titan is right there too.
Let me just say too, I did not realize the power of the Nine, the Beast Titan, was about different
Beast.
beasts.
We didn't know
and
that.
animals. I had no
How the
idea.
fuck were we supposed to
Did you
know
guys
that?
know that? Did
Yeah.
you guys realize that until the special too?
Let us
Because
know.
this whole entire time, I thought if you swallow the power of the beast, you always turn into a monkey.
Yeah, that was.
I literally thought that this whole entire time.
I thought that too. We didn't understand what Beast Titan meant. That's why.
Yeah.
Colossal Titan's up there too with being one of the worst ones too.
Yeah,
Because
that's
it's big, you could barely transform.
I think Colossal is definitely the worst
think
one.
Colossal
You
is
can't
the
do
worst
shit
one.
with that.
You can't
And
do
you can
anything.
barely change. You kill so many people.
Immense size, immense heat generation, and
That is
steam.
the power you do not want.
Yeah, that's why it's so funny that Armin ended up getting that
Yeah.
power
And
because
Berthold.
yeah, and Berthold. It's funny that they both end up getting those powers because it's so, or sorry, for Armin especially, it's so unlike him, and he knows every time he changes, he's killing people.
You're right.
Like that's such a burden to live with too. And anyway, makes Armin's character even better because it shows how much I love him.
Yeah. All right. Let us know what your top 3 Power of the Titans are.
Yeah, and what
And
would you
then
pick?
next question is who is your favorite design?
Ooh.
I guess we can do top 3.
I think that my favorite design is the Warhammer Titan.
Okay.
I think she has the craziest look. Like I love, like you said, the liquid shit on her, and the way she's able to make. I'm calling her a she because of Tiber,
Okay.
Lady Tiber. The way that she's able to shape shift things into whatever she wants with that liquid.
She looks too freaky for me.
You
But
think
the
so?
oth-
She looks so fucking
But
cool.
the other Warhammer Titans in the past generations, they look really cool at night.
Yeah, they do
But
look
the
cool.
one, not what the Tiber one, the recent one, she looks so freaky to me. I don't like it.
I like how she looks like a X-Men.
Yeah, she
She
does.
kind of does look like she's
She
an
does.
X-Men, huh? Like a mutant.
For me, I would say Reiner,
Okay.
Annie, and Marcel are my favorite designs.
Reiner, Annie,
And
and
Marcel.
Marcel. Yeah. Marcel?
Yeah, I think he looks so cool.
Can you show me? Let's look it up.
Sorry, not Marcel.
I was like,
Porco.
Marcel? Oh, Porco.
Porco.
Porco does look real. Porco looks way cooler than fucking Falco.
Yeah, Falco looks.
Falco looks
he
cool
still
when he's a bird.
But Porco looks really cool.
Yeah, Porco does look really cool.
He had that
I like
whole
how
mask and his hair and
we
his
had
claws.
a nice time with him, or we got to see him in his Titan form a lot
Yeah.
too. Pete grew
Even
on
though I
me,
was really sad that he ate Ymir, but he does look really cool.
but then he also gave himself up to Falco, which is really cool. I got really emotional.
Okay,
during
and
that
your
scene.
next 2 favorite?
So I think my number 1 is Warhammer Titan. Then I would go with. I don't even know how the Founding Titan looks like. Do we know how that? I guess they don't really have a look either, huh?
Well, just go based off all the Titans that you've seen.
Oh
Favorite
yeah, yeah,
design.
yeah. I'll just go with my number 1, which is Warhammer Titan. I feel like all the rest of them are kind of all similar to me. Like I mean, obviously I love the female Titan too, and I like the Jaw Titan as well.
So I think the craziest. I mean, I guess it's not the crazy. I guess it was a crazy reveal that we learned that the trauma and the rage and the hold that Ymir had and then why she continued having the power of the Titans for 2,000 years is because she was in love with King Fritz.
Yeah.
And that was a really crazy reveal because it relates to Mikasa's hold on Eren.
That's exactly why the only person that was able to let Ymir free was Mikasa. Because Ymir was able to see when they were inside Eren's mouth or whatever, she saw that Mikasa being able to kill Eren and make the right decision, even though she knew that she couldn't forget about Eren, she was able to let go of his toxic love or let go of their toxic love and do the right thing for humanity.
Yeah.
And Ymir saw that and was inspired by that. And she felt like, fuck, I should not be holding on to King Fritz's love too.
Right.
And we know that as a fact because Eren tells Armin that when they're in the coordinate. And he literally says, I can't explain what Ymir's heart is like or what her desires are, but only Mikasa can.
Right.
And it's because they're both girls and they both were in toxic love.
Right. My question is, I get a little bit confused with the headaches that Eren lied to Mikasa about.
Oh,
So
yeah.
this
yeah.
whole entire time, Mikasa has headaches because Ymir was always there to
Check in on her or something? Or is it?
what?
is
Well,
that
yeah,
what
like
it
what
is?
exactly what are exactly the headaches to kind of challenge her every single time she has this undenied love and
Yeah, right.
loyalty towards Aaron, and then she gives her the headaches because she's constantly challenging her to break away from that.
That's a good point too, because I think that might have to be something that we look into also, is to see what are the moments where Mikasa has those headaches and why do we think that Ymir is giving her those headaches?
Exactly.
Because for example, she gets like probably her worst headache, right, is at the very end of, or when she's about to kill Aaron, right? And she has this crazy, crazy headache. And even Levi is like, hey, get your shit together. We need to kill Aaron. And then Mikasa's like, I can't, like, this is too much. And I think you are right, because I think she's talking to Ymir at that time, and Ymir maybe is telling her to break out of your love for him, or like break out of this is not good for you, because then she goes, I can't, and then she has that flashback, or sorry, the memory of Aaron and her in the future, right? Maybe let's go to that scene.
Okay.
When will this part? This part was so sad. So pull it together. We're the only ones who can kill Aaron now. It's too much.
耐えられない帰りたい私たちの家
Okay, I'm glad that we're on this scene because
Yeah.
when I first watched this scene, I was really confused. I don't know how you felt, but I was trying to understand what was happening, and I thought that when I first watched this episode, I thought it was Mikasa and Armin just running away.
And Aaron, you mean?
Sorry, Mikasa and Aaron running away and her confessing that I love you and that this was going to happen. And then, I don't know, making him... I didn't realize Aaron was just showing her a different path.
Yeah.
And then eventually telling her that I'm going to do this and basically have to kill me and you have to forget about me.
Yeah.
I was just confused, I guess, in this scene. Do you remember your perspective when you first watched this?
Before that, I wanted to talk about the headaches there, right? Because I think Ymir might be telling her something where you hear what she's saying, right? Mika says like, I can't, when will this end? This is too much. And I think Ymir is trying to tell her something. I don't know what. Maybe it is like, snap out of this. You need to do what you need to do, which is like get out of this toxic love with Aaron and kill Aaron.
It's like Ymir is curating everything.
Yeah.
And pushing Mikasa to want and have the will to kill the love that she has for Aaron, or like choose herself and the whole world over Aaron,
Yeah.
to give her an example that she's able to break free of that too.
Yeah. Because, it's always that saying of, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right? So it's easier for you to give people motivation, but then that person themselves won't take their own advice.
Right.
Right? So
It's just a weird concept of she's the reason that she's giving her the headaches.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If I was Ymir, I would just want to see it play out and see
Yeah.
and being hopeful that she's able to do this for herself.
Yeah.
Why is she the one nudging her to do this?
Yeah. And that's
That's why I get confused.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. And I think, like I said, we have to kind of see the moments over and over again of when she's been getting those headaches. I want to actually go back to the other headache scene.
力に目覚めたガムは突発性の頭痛を起こすことが
But Aaron's making up all that shit, right? Because they're not real headaches.
No, it has nothing to do with Ackermans.
Okay.
That's why he's bullshitting.
Ackermans with wakened powers apparently get sudden headaches,
that's
so that's just
bullshit.
bullshit.
ただ命令が
最高だなんて
When was the last time we spoke?
ミカサお前が大嫌いだった
そんなことが
That can't be. What can't be? What does she mean by that?
Sorry, go back.
So what I'm trying to understand here is I'm trying to see the patterns of what Ymir is probably telling her every time she gets a headache. And so I can see if there's like a pattern of what she's trying to
お
tell
前
her.
が大嫌いだった
そんなことが
So she says that can't be.
I had to see more context than that little spot, but
Yeah, I mean that's all they showed
I'm-
us. That's why. So I think we need to see more of it too, maybe to get unless you guys know and you can just let us know in the comments. But
I mean, isn't she referring also to that I've always hated you, and then she's like, that can't be. You never
maybe
always hated me.
yeah, maybe I don't know
I think so.
because if the headaches are always from Ymir, which we know that now, right?
I think the
We
headaches.
know that they come from Ymir.
Yeah, the headaches are always happening when she is fighting with herself to choose Aaron over everyone else.
Yeah,
That's
that,
when the
that can
headaches
also make
always
sense
happen.
too.
So when that past scene when they knew that Aaron was being crazy and starting the Jaegerist, she got the headaches again during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And Ymir was giving her the headaches to kind of push her to fight back against Aaron or break her hold off of Aaron, but she didn't. You remember? And then Armin ended up getting beat up,
Yeah,
and so it didn't work. So maybe it's just like her nudging her to break
break
away from it.
I can see that. Okay.
Kind of, you know how like when you train a dog, when you do
Yeah.
bad things, you're giving them horrible treatment because you're doing
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I see it. And then she couldn't take the headache anymore at the end. And then learning what Aaron is doing, she chose the whole world and herself.
Yeah.
And ended up killing him.
Yeah.
And then I guess Founder Ymir was like, this is possible. There's someone else that can break that. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do it too.
Yeah. I can see that. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we got that resolved if that's correct.
I think.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right. I mean, it's kind of like so essentially, guys, we wrote down a bunch of timestamps where we had questions. I think we're answering a lot of our questions throughout what happened in this in the special too also, just like as we're discussing things. But obviously we're kind of trying to get through only like the main ones.
Yeah. I will say that the scene where the parasite thing was giving off the fumes and
Yeah.
then all our friends
chilling.
turned into Titans was so crazy.
I got so emotional during that
That
part
was
too.
so wild.
Especially
and
Connie
I
and
really
Jean
thought that
gone.
Jean and Connie and everyone else really
We're
died.
gonna die. Me
I didn't
too.
think that there was no going back.
That's how horrible the power of the Titan is, or like the founding
curse of
Titan,
the
the curse of the
Titan.
Titans. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they really turned all of our loved ones into Titans.
Right.
And like we knew this since I forget what season or what episode, but it really is a curse. No one wants to be a Titan.
Let's go to the dream with Armin. Because, I mean, you guys can give us your interpretation with the Mikasa and Aaron conversation.
But we do understand that is an alternate reality that Aaron was able to show Mikasa if Mikasa actually said "I love you" in that scene when they're before the rumbling. Oh, sorry,
Right.
when they first get to Parody.
Right.
So if she actually told him she loved him, they were gonna run away. He was gonna live his last 4 years here, and they were gonna be happy together
Yeah.
for those 4 years. But then but then he says at the end, forget about me, because he knows this is not what is happening in his
Right.
timeline, in the main timeline.
Today we cast everything aside to run away to this place. 2 months after the end of Marley's war, an invasion of Parody Island was on the horizon. So if they were to run away, they would come and attack Parody.
Yeah.
If we hadn't run, they would have killed us all. I'm sure Armin has been desperate to find us.
So they even left Armin. They left everyone.
I couldn't bring myself to plunge Astoria into hell and commit an endless cycle of killing. And I couldn't bring genocide upon all humanity outside the walls, outside the island. So let's just go. Live out our remaining 4 years in peace and quiet.
And then he says, "That's what you told me."
Just the two of us somewhere with no other people.
You're the one who said all that. That's crazy.
It was your idea.
That scene is so good.
And then
Oh, I got
so
chills.
this part right here, when he goes, "Can we make another promise? You forget about me," because he's pretty much saying this is what it could have been, but I can't live with that. So please forget me because I'm a horrible monster, and please forgive and forget who I am and live your life. And then it goes into Mikasa saying that she can never forget him,
Yeah.
but I am willing to end you and your sorrow and your pain.
Yeah.
Forget and be free. And that's when they show the birds again,
So sad.
conveying freedom, and then she
then-
goes and kills him. And then if we go to Armin's part, 54:16,
Damn. This is
or
where
a
it
year
all
actually.
happens. This is after he dies. That's why.
This is after he dies. And then we knew that, with season 4, that he was always pushing his friends away because he wanted to detach and didn't want to burden his friends. And then we learned that this whole master plan was pretty much making his friends the heroes and
Yeah.
eliminating all of the racism against Eldians, basically. We were talking about this off camera, and it's such a crazy plan that he killed off 80% of the world. And it's so horrible.
Yeah.
And it came in turn because of what he selfishly wanted, what was good for him, because his friends get to live their long life and live a normal life and have kids, and then at the same time get rid of the power of the Titans. And that sacrifice, that trade-off was more valuable to him. He didn't care about anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so dark and just the honest truth. Because if we went along with Zeke's plan,
Yeah. The euthanization plan was
we
the
would
complete opposite.
We would kill less people, and there would be no need to actually like physically kill people. They would just slowly die off peacefully, but then that would mean all the Eldians would die off.
Yeah.
In relation to his plan, which he obviously fought for.
You do wonder though, because even if they were to continue with Zeke's plan, which is the euthanization plan, isn't there some way that the founding Titan, I don't know, combined together with someone else? Like, for example, it can't only just be Eren and Zeke to have this moment where it's royal blood touches like the founding Titan, right? What if there's another future where they did carry out the euthanization plan, but they found the same connection like between like another type of Eren and another type of Zeke with royal blood, and then the founding Titan's power, where the founding Titan can use that power to manipulate the body, where they are able to procreate again. So you see Zeke's plan, I feel like that's where that flaw can be, because it doesn't get rid of all the power of the Titan.
I think everyone would just grow out and die. So there would be no Eldians ever.
But at some point, right, but the power of the Nine is still going to exist, right?
Well, it still does exist now.
But
It still exists now. That's why we saw at the end credit that the boy walks to
the tree. Yeah.
So it's always going to be there.
I mean,
If we zoom out, if we zoom out, I think that's a point of what Isayama was saying, is that it's human nature to always fight, and there's always going to be conflict.
Yeah,
And
conflict.
it's always going to be it repeats itself.
Yeah.
And that's why when Armin and Eren are talking here, Eren even admits to say that, this is probably going to happen again. And I just did it because I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I'm an idiot. But it's because of my own selfish desires to save you guys and to flatten out the world, because I hated the world of who they are, and my hopes and dreams of what the outside world was disappointed me so much that I wanted to level it out.
yeah.
But then that contradicts why he killed his mom for me. Then that confuses me. And that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other. We haven't even got to. I just want to close out the theory though, that I feel like I just don't think Zeke's plan would have worked out if they would have went through with the euthanization plan. Like, I still think that there would have been a way for the founding Titan, like in all those years, right? How long would it take for them to really die out. I don't know, at least, let's say if there's babies being born that day, at least 60 or 70 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like in that 60 or 70 years, someone is obviously going to take the founding Titans' power again and is going to be able to maybe be like, what the fuck? I don't want to be euthanized. Like, I want to be able to procreate
How do
again.
they take it if they're not Eldian though?
No. It's only going to happen with the Eldians. So
Well, what happens if they die off? I generally want to know. I don't know either.
So I feel like someone could still eat Eren, and then someone's gonna eat Zeke. Obviously, it would have to be someone with royal blood, so maybe Historia's kid,
Yeah.
right? Because they would be the last person to be born, probably with royal blood. So I don't know. I guess I just see the hole in that where
I think there's a lot of flaws and loopholes to every direction or
Yeah.
everyone's plan, but I think that's the point.
yeah,
I think
for
the
sure.
point that there's so many different ways that you can go, but they're all horrible and they all have flaws to them, especially Aaron's.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
because
for
he
sure.
killed most of the world, and
Yeah,
he did
the
horrible,
most of the
horrendous things for his own selfish desires.
Yeah,
Even though Zeke's plan was a little bit more peaceful, there's holes in that too.
Yeah.
But in the end scheme of it all, it's always going to repeat anyways,
Yeah.
and it's going to happen again later down the road when there is after the peace.
yeah. I do wonder. That's the part
Because-
that might be is really really ambiguous at the very end, where that guy goes into the tree. We don't know what he's doing in that tree. We don't know what's in that tree. Obviously, I think the symbolism is supposed to be
It's going to repeat again.
the power of the Titan is in there.
Yeah.
Right. So that's certainly a possibility, which is fucking crazy because then it would happen all over again. But
Because it's
I still think Aaron's plan right now, though, I don't think it's the best plan, but I think it makes sense where they were able to get rid of the power of the Titan for that long of a time.
yeah.
And then all the Eldians that were Titans are just now humans.
Yeah, it's like a really dark sacrifice
Yeah, yeah.
for
Yeah, very, very dark. Very, very dark sacrifice to get
Yeah.
rid of all the Eldians. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, to get rid of the power of the Titan.
yeah,
Just for it to come back, like you said,
yeah. That's,
cyclically.
that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
that's why with time and history, it's like people don't really remember. They forget about the lesson that they learned.
Yeah.
because it's just human nature to fight again and want the need for power.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
this is exactly what happened to Aaron. He is an idiot kid, very childlike, angry, and nothing special about him. But he was able to hold. He is the first attack titan and founding titan that was able to hold that power, and this is what he did with it.
So much power. Exactly.
It only takes that one person with trauma
to fuck shit up.
to fuck shit up.
And that's exactly why Reiner is in my top 5, because bro really was saying it from the beginning, where he was like, why did it have to be Eren to be the coordinate? Why did all the power have to go onto him, and like someone who's as strong-willed,
Right.
stubborn, idiotic, all these immature, all these things about Eren, for him to get this power. And like you said, this is how he chose to exercise that power. This is fucking crazy.
I actually wanted to go.
They're in the path. And then we did talk about Mikasa freeing Ymir.
I think this is the part where he tells her.
My head has
And you feel bad for Eren too. It's because he has the curse of the attack titan knowing the future, and then also the founding titan. So everything is happening all at once, and so it confuses you, and it makes you do horrible things at the same time too.
Yeah.
And that's where you like understand that girl's perspective in the TikTok, where he feels like he had no choice.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the part that really trips me out.
Yeah. I don't understand this either.
That day in the moment, Bert Holt had to stay alive. So I sent it to my mommy and not him.
How? So we talked about this. I'm like, how was he able to manipulate if he didn't have the power of the Titan yet? Right? Unless it was his future self that was able to go back in time and tell his younger version of himself to command Titan Dinah
Yeah,
to
I thought
eat his mom. But I thought
I thought he
doesn't.
can't change the past or the future. I thought he can't change that. So, or I thought he doesn't have the choice to do that.
Or he doesn't have the power to manipulate it.
Yeah, and how does he have the power to manipulate it when he didn't get the power till later on? Like, how does he have that as a kid?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand too. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us
Not
know in
really.
the comments because
We've been struggling with that for a minute because it doesn't really make sense.
that makes
Unless
and that really makes me struggle. And then also, I feel like the main driving force of why he is revengeful and why he hates the Marlins or the people outside the walls who put him in this wall is because his mom got eaten. So if he was a reason for that, how did this drive him to do all of this too? Is my question.
what's your question?
My question is because he was stuck inside the walls and he had no freedom and he was at the mercy of the Marlians or the people outside because they're the reasons why the Titans came in and killed his mom. But actually, he was the reason why his mom died.
Yeah, exactly.
How does he still have all this drive and anger towards everyone outside when he was at fault?
Well, obviously, he was the fault of the mom dying, right? But maybe he's still blaming it on Reiner and Berthold and the Marlians, who are the ones that sent that. Like it's all a cycle, or it's not. It's all a domino effect, right? It all started because they broke down the walls, right? So maybe he's not fully blaming himself, but he's blaming everything else around it. But it was his fault. What I'm saying is he can still have that same motivation, even though he was the one that
Yeah.
sent his mom.
Yeah.
I don't think that's just like a singular moment of him being like, I need to be free because my mom died here. He's
Yeah.
always had that feeling of being restricted, feeling like cattle, feeling like livestock inside the walls. But like you correctly pointed out, his mom dying was kind of like another domino effect that pushed him to that
Yeah, there's just so many.
to that tension spot of him needing to do something.
Yeah, it just I understand that and I get that too. I just get lost of what he's able to control or not because sometimes he does have a choice and
Yeah.
he curates his mom dying so the timeline can continue because he needs Berthold to stay alive. And then at the same time he doesn't have a choice. I don't know, this is where I get confused.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, yeah, I don't know either. I don't have the answers, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. And maybe like a lot of the things too, I don't think there are answers. I think it's meant to be open-ended and no one is really supposed to know.
Yeah.
And I mean, or maybe it's just something that we completely missed. But
I think it's
There was
something
another
why I
thing, too.
try to understand Aaron and
yeah.
you try to because they always really harp on that he's always been this way, he's always been a fighter and he always wants to take their freedom away first before they take his, and that's
Yeah.
why they show like him killing the people who killed Mikasa's parents at a young age, him defying Zeke and his father, and that's why they're completely different from him. So it's that, right? His true nature and what he values versus what actually happened to him as a little kid. And I guess it's not really the nurture around that's driving his motivations. It's not his mom getting killed. I guess it's all of it.
Yeah, it is. It is all of it. It's Aaron is clearly so complex that it's not just one singular moment or thing that defines him. Besides the fact that he has always is a slave to freedom, but I think it's like a bunch of moments that give him, that motivation to seek that freedom.
I do like the scene though because it humanizes Aaron and that he finally admits that he wants to be with Mikasa and he didn't want to die.
Yeah, I felt like that was
But-
probably his most human moment too,
Yeah.
which is good because it was just at this point we never see Aaron even being emotional or
Right.
we haven't seen him be emotional in a long time.
And then
Yeah.
he's really spilling out his emotions. And then he admits to killing 80% of the world. Armin freaks out. he attempts to really like kill everyone.
And all of you stop me. Damn. So where's Armin at this time in the timeline? This is already like, do we know where he's at?
I think everything all happens at the same time. So this like instant moment is like 1 second. And remember, he said that he's going to take away his memory and then now I'm going to give it back.
Yeah.
And then it goes to present time.
And I think that present time here, actually, I remember now, right after this, it's when he's talking to Annie on the ship and they're on their way to.
Yeah. I think like many conversations are like that split second.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And then he wakes up
Yeah.
in whatever moment he's supposed to be in. Damn.
Which means there won't be a one-sided war reprisal. But this conflict doesn't end.
Yeah.
What the hell do you mean? He's like, this is a sick joke. 20% of humanity is all you manage to save. It's already been determined.
Didn't you determine it? Didn't you kill them? See, so like those are Armin's literally asking all the questions that the viewers are asking. They're like, wait, what do you mean? You have the power to stop it. And he's like, bro, no, I don't.
He's like, bro, I don't. I already
He
happened.
literally, I do not. Because like I can't. He's like, I've tested it so many times and all to no avail. Literally.
Yeah, it's because he already did it and he doesn't understand.
Okay. How much more? What do we want to get through?
We can just stop here and then just go to my notebook.
Yeah, we can yeah, let's do that. Because I mean, we essentially already talked about we've talked about the main points of what we felt we had strong gripes about. I think we'll continue. It's like it's so hard to one just do everything we wanted to do in this one video. There's just not enough time, and like, you know, we've been sitting down for almost 2 hours already. I'm like, that's just a long time to trying to like critically think about one, you know, an hour and 30-minute episode. But I think what my favorite part of this episode was towards the end was finding out that it was Mikasa that released Ymir from this toxic love, and she was only able to free Ymir after she killed Eren.
Yeah.
So we talked about that earlier in the video too, and how that freedom that Ymir got was what also released the curse of the Titan, and then she just like was able to like rest in peace basically.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they did it in that way because I low-key didn't have any hope for Mikasa because of how she was towards Eren the whole entire fourth season. She was like ride or die for him.
She
no
even
matter
said that
what.
she couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
too.
and she really physically felt like she couldn't defy him because the love is strong. The love is so strong that she was willing to do everything for him. And that's why I didn't, when we were making predictions and before this episode, I literally said that I don't think Mikasa has it in her to kill him.
Right.
So I'm glad that she actually was the one to actually do it, and it made such a powerful symbolic statement that she did the right thing and she was strong enough to do it, you know, and Ymir wasn't able to do it.
Yeah.
And that's what determined, you know, to free the curse of the world for now.
Ymir. Yeah, for now.
That
shit really is really beautiful if you really think about it. She's basically stronger than Ymir because she was able to break through her toxic love with Eren in a way that Ymir was bound for 2,000 years. Eren and Armin figure it out too. Like, she's just seeking connection, which is so sad because that's exactly what like a little girl or a kid is always looking for, right?
Yeah.
Is some sort of connection, and the one connection and attention she got at the time was literally the toxic love of King Fritz.
Yeah.
And she was just bounded by it. And sometimes it sounds so ridiculous, like how, I don't want to call it simple, but just really is the simple blank statement of Ymir being trapped by her captor this entire time. But it's beautiful to see that Mikasa is the person to set her free. This whole time, everyone thinks it was Eren. He did set her free, like from the first bound to King Fritz, but then it was Mikasa's action that actually got her to wake up and, you know, let go of the curse,
Right.
and then turn all the Eldians back into normal humans, where the power of the Nine doesn't exist anymore.
Because Ymir was like the one that was holding on to that parasite and the power of the Titans.
Yeah,
And she finally let go. and that life species went back to the tree, right?
That's what
And
it looks like.
That's what it looks like. And all it takes is one heartbroken girl to hold this power to create
Shit.
2,000 years of misery
Chaos.
and chaos,
Yeah,
and
right.
pain.
You do wonder if there will be another version of this in the future. I can't imagine, but there's supposed to be like an Attack on Titan junior high or something.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to watch that. We'll see.
But that's why I think that there's always like a correction with things. When
Yeah.
there's something so horrible, there is always something that kind of balances that out. And the rumbling, I guess, is that symbolically where something so horrible had to correct
Yeah.
what she did for 2,000 years for it to be over.
Fuck. That's
And
crazy.
then there's a long period of peace where people think that you would think, right, that humans learn from their mistakes, but
They never do.
they forget and then they fight. If there's more than two people living on the world, there's always going to be some type of conflict, and that's how
Nailed it.
humans are. And they're like in this special, they even explain that humans in life have the wanting and desire to grow and manifest and have power, and there's always going to be conflict with that, and it's always going to repeat the cycle. But the beautiful story about Attack on Titan is that's why you have characters like Armin, or the people who have what they're enslaved to or what their dreams are. That's what keeps them from pushing forward and living their life. And those are the little moments that are valuable.
Yeah, I agree. Those
Yeah.
were that was beautifully said. So now we are gonna go. We were hyping this up, but Misha's Notebook.
Dee was hyping it up.
I was hyping it up because I just thought it was cute that you were always writing it. But I also realized that a lot of the times it's just timestamps that we discuss. So you guys might
That's
think
what I said.
you guys think that there might be some juicy stuff, but people just don't know, and they see you writing it a lot. So of course they're building it up in their head too that it might be something epic. I feel like I'm like them because I literally never go through this notebook, so I actually don't even know what's in there. I just know what you've told me, which is just like a lot.
So we're
of
not going to
gibberish.
go through my notebook.
No.
We're just going to talk about, I think it'll be just fun to reflect about what we got wrong and our theories and what our perspective was when we watched that scene.
Yeah.
And we could just go by it pretty fast on what we thought. But I guess the first question is, do you remember how you felt in season 1 and what your theories were about the pure Titans and how they came about and who were the intelligent Titans? Like, what was your...
No, I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that there was a difference between them. I knew that there was a difference, obviously, between the pure Titans, which were the dummy Titans, and that there was a difference in the intelligent Titans, because that's where we met. What's her face? The female Titan.
Right.
But we didn't know it was Annie until the reveal.
So I thought that in season 1 that Titans were made by other humans and that there were freak experiments.
Titans were made by other humans?
Yeah. I thought that they experimented and something went wrong, and that's why they created the pure Titans. But then I was like also wrestling with when we first saw the Beast Titan and we missed the
Yeah.
thing with the nape. We thought that there was actually like a natural thing. So it was like I was battling with what is scientific and man-made versus what is natural.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
come to this conclusion now that it is actually natural.
Yeah.
So
right.
it is from that parasite, and then it slowly evolved into the power of the Titans. And the fumes actually make the pure Titans. It has nothing to do with what man made.
Yeah.
And that actually tripped me out because this whole entire time I thought that the humans were creating weapons to fight in war.
Yeah.
But it was actually the parasite thing. Mm-hmm. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No.
I don't remember what your perspective was when you saw the pure Titans. And I just thought that over time the pure Titans like evolved into the intelligent Titans. I didn't know that there was like a power of the Titans. We both didn't know that.
Yeah, we
obviously.
didn't know that.
But that was like my first initial
Thought.
thoughts, and I thought that there was no life outside of the walls. I
Yeah,
really thought
same.
that what they used for propaganda, I really thought that was real. That only the only living humans were within
Inside
the walls.
the walls.
And
Yeah.
I actually thought that there were life outside the walls, but I thought they were like nomads,
Yeah.
Like-
same.
cavemen or something that were
Yeah.
living, and they learned how to live with the Titans. I had
so
no
fucking
idea
crazy.
that pure Titans didn't even
Yeah. They didn't even know that they were separating themselves from the rest of the world.
exactly.
Period.
I thought that there was a bunch of pure Titans outside
Yeah,
living like
same,
zombies, and there was a
same.
whole apocalypse.
I thought that was the
I
same
honestly
thing,
believe
too.
that.
But like that's because that's why this show is such a mind fuck, because they
Yeah.
want you to think all those things, but then to realize that those are the people that are. I mean, all Eldians across the world are not free. And even the Eldians on Paradis are not free because
Right.
they're literally behind that wall.
I mean, our theories about who the Colossal Titan and Reiner always makes me laugh because
Yeah,
I
those are
remember
the best
just
ones.
thinking everybody was. I thought Connie was the Armored Titan at one.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the first time.
You
Reiner.
thought it was Erwin.
Reiner just seemed like a tragic person to me. That I don't know why I didn't think that he was the Armored Titan, and I had no idea that Bert Holt was a Colossal Titan at all.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was a
that
mind
came
fuck.
out of nowhere. Although he was always top 3 too, right? In the class rankings.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly I can't wait to jump back into watching that from the beginning, because I think there's just so much that we're gonna pick up that we missed in the first time. But I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't write things down, I have to like try to pull my memories of how I was thinking at the time. That's why I think what you did is really interesting, because it gives you like it gives you insight to what you thought at the time. But I remember just honestly being in love with the show from the beginning, or sorry, not in the beginning, but as soon as we found out that Eren can be a Titan, I knew like that's when it started ramping up for me. And like being
Yeah.
really, really invested into the show and just being like, damn, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And then just the layers and the reveals and
And how the Titan power works. We were so
yeah,
confused with that.
it's so cool. And like just like the lore around it, it is very, very interesting, to the point where
Yeah.
you just can't stop thinking
And
about
I
it.
remember the mystery of why pure Titans just ate to kill. Like, they
Yeah.
didn't eat to eat because they were hungry.
But yeah,
And there was no digestive system. That was already like a mind fuck. We didn't understand that.
Yeah, because it's really like, why did Ymir make this? And it kind of makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. And let me know your thoughts here too. She created these pure Titans, right, Ymir? From her own blood, which is the subjects of the Ymir, which is the Eldians.
Right.
She wanted them to kill humanity because she hates humanity.
Yeah.
Because of how she was
All the-
treated,
all the
and of King
torment.
Fritz
Yeah,
and King
King
Fritz. So doesn't it make
She
you
literally
feel
got her tongue cut out. I didn't even realize that happened. That's why she
shit is
doesn't
so
talk.
fucking sad.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean-
why I feel like she created the pure Titans to be human killers with no other intention but to kill humans,
Right.
because that was
she
her
hates
that was her
humans.
truly how she felt.
Right.
So she was a slave to her own stuff, or she was a slave to obviously King Fritz, and then hating humans and
then
creating this thing.
That kind of adds to why she pushed
wanted to help Eren.
to do the rumbling.
Yeah. So I
And
think
then they never really explain the power of Titans to, the full extent, and they leave it very ambiguous. But that makes you, the way that the power of the Titans work, and how she's the one who created this pure Titan. She's the one who created, because that's the power of the founding Titan, right? She alters the human body to be whatever you want, and you can make it into a human Titan. This is what she wanted the whole entire time. So it's literally the curse of Ymir.
yeah.
So it makes
it
you
is.
think that the next person who's gonna grab onto the power, what kind of power are they gonna harness? Like, it might be
Exactly.
something different. And maybe it's not even a Titans.
Yeah.
Because it seems
It
like
could
this
be
is
whatever she wants it to
it's
be.
whatever. Yeah, it's exactly what that person wants it to be.
Yeah.
And it's all because
It fell into that person's power and
right
that
and
person's
that's
hand.
it kind of mind fucks you in that way, right?
I think so. I mean, the thing that takes over that power that took over Ymir is a parasite.
Yeah.
And we know that I'm no scientist. But the way that parasites work is that they have their own motivations and they find a host that they can control.
Yeah.
Basically. So who the fuck knows what that parasite, like you said, is going to pick the next host, and then, I don't know, their powers combined are going to create something destructive.
This show is so masterful in tricking you and trying to figure out theories. And another example is like Arcane, because you always think that something's gonna happen, but they trick you, and
Yeah.
they do a good job with distracting you, right? And another this helps me, or this reminds me of that because we were so fixated on the Ackerman thing
Yeah.
and how it kind of really doesn't really mean anything.
They really fuck you up with that. That's why they do.
They always try
misdirect
to,
you.
They misdirect you a lot, and that's why you can never figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And you think that this Ackerman thing is going to be this whole grand scheme of the power, but it's actually just meant to distract you. And then
Yeah.
it ends up just being Mikasa gets headaches from Ymir because she wanted her to break the hold.
Exactly. And we were actually talking about this too because we were like, bro, what was the whole point of Mikasa and Levi being like cousins or whatever type of family tree? But what was the whole
Nothing.
point of making them both Ackermans?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And it was just the fact that they're both warriors and that they're immune to the brainwashing.
Right.
But what the fuck does that matter if they didn't even get brainwashed again?
I think they were just trying to trick you.
I think they
'Cause
were
they just wanted-
misdirect.
A lot of misdirects. And then the same thing with the walls and then the King Fritz thing and then the
Yeah.
Rice family. You felt like that was the whole entire story.
Yeah.
And then you come to believe that no, it's not. They're just falling into the vow of renouncing war and that there's this whole other story outside.
My God, Jesus Christ! And the whole basement thing. Remember?
The whole, oh my God, exactly. That's another
the
fucking
basement,
distraction.
but the basement was real because that's how Aaron found out about the outside walls.
Yeah.
So that
and his father's truth too.
yeah, so that was actually a big piece of the story, like the whole basement, what's in the basement, what the fuck is going on, why was Grisha not there for 4 seasons? Obviously now it makes sense because Aaron fucking killed him.
Yeah.
But the basement was a big part of the story because that's how, like we said, Aaron found out Grisha's truth and the outside world.
Right. Right.
So, and then that's what really got his whole,
yeah.
cycle moving to the rumbling.
Yeah. There's just a lot of distractions out there. Like Armin's parents.
Yeah,
Maybe
we were just hella distracted.
We were just so confused.
Ymir, we were distracted for Ymir and his story for a lot. I was guys, I was so distracted the whole like last season 4. I'm like, bro, I can't wait till Historia comes in just for her to be super useless in the end.
Yeah.
Sorry, respectfully. And finally have her baby. I mean, I guess she is like the holder, or she's like the queen of all the Eldians or the humans on Paradis now, and then they started a brand new like military branch basically,
Yeah.
which were the Jaegerists.
The Jaegerists, yeah.
So she wasn't completely useless, but I just felt like they kind of dropped off her story, and she was actually one of the first people, or one of the ones that Aaron actually told what the future was going to be like as far as he could.
Right.
So that was also a really interesting.
What was her
like,
perspective
circle back.
with that again? She was just like, okay.
She basically said like Aaron wanted us to live like long lives, and we have to like just continue to fight. Basically, I feel like that was the takeaway I got from it, which was Aaron didn't want us to mope in our sorrows anymore, and wanted us to live long lives and to keep continuing to fight.
Also, there was something that we realized when we watched, because we didn't get it on our first watch, but we understood why the rumbling completely stopped when Levi severed and killed Zeke.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we didn't catch that when we first watched it. When we watched it the second time, we understood that.
Yeah.
Just disclaimer that we understand that now.
Yeah, we do understand that. There's a lot going on in this episode.
There's a lot going
There's
on.
so much going on in this special that Misha and I are trying to rush through, going through this outro because 2 hours is not enough. It's just not. I mean,
not.
it's
I was just trying to brush off of like the big points, but I mean, we're pretty detailed.
No,
when we
we're-
were watching it.
this is very, very detailed. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm just putting
I wish they went in more explaining Annie's power and how like what she had
Yeah.
to eat.
Yeah, there's
And
there's a
then-
lot of things that we didn't get.
There's a lot of
clear answers
discrepancy
to.
with drinking Zeke's spinal fluid and how
Yeah.
he was just able to become a beast titan basically. and
Oh.
how that just because he ate the fluid.
Sorry, one thing I just want to bring up too that Mish was very bothered about, and I was bothered about this too, was how there was not really an answer to why Falco was getting these weird. He got hit in the head in episode 4-1, and then he was seeing like.
He said he saw people flying with swords in his hands, foreshadowing that there's scouts coming, and then
How
also
does he know
foreshadowing
that?
that he was gonna fly. How does he have those memories before he had the power of the Titan?
Yeah. Unless Aaron was showing that to him, which I don't, think, he
so.
was.
Yeah,
So that wasn't resolved.
yeah,
We didn't really understand that. Maybe we're just thinking too far into that too.
yeah.
But there's a lot of things.
And
that
then
were
why did
unresolved.
he unlock memories of Zeke How, like, why did he unlock memories of himself flying
Yeah.
through Zeke's memories? Like, why? If he's
Yeah.
the first Titan to fly, where did he get those memories from?
Yeah. I don't know.
Unless there were Titans that flew, but we just never knew
We
about
never
it.
knew about it.
But they made it seem like there was never a Titan that
That
flew.
could fly. Which is hard to believe out of the 2,000 years that there's not one beast titan that could fly.
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
right.
So that's another discrepancy. But yeah, I mean, I will say there are not that many holes in the story that we can find yet. But for the writer to be able to come up with this mastery of writing is still really wild to me. Okay, should we sign off with top 3? I don't want to give top 3. Maybe just like some final words of characters that surprised you. Because there's some people I want to talk about, but I'll just try to do it fast, that really bother me.
Or
that-
characters that we don't like.
Either we don't like or that just we want to discuss really quick.
Okay.
I have like two people, that's why.
Okay.
And I want to focus on one person first, and then we can talk about the second person I'm thinking of.
You go first.
Okay. I want to talk about Gabi because I was a certified Gabi hater.
You're talking about other characters that other people hate.
or
Not
just in
not
general.
Who you hate.
We can talk about just in
Okay,
general.
okay, go
I
ahead.
just want to talk about this in general because I feel like this is the kind of the perfect place to talk about it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Sometimes I have to give these stupid ass disclaimers because I have to remind people in the comments because people at the end of the day are just going to say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
That's fine. But if you're going to be so forward about your opinions, you should respect the writer enough to open up your mind to why you could be wrong. And I try to do that. We try to do that with all the perspectives of different types of people. As much as I hate Flock, right? Mish opened my mind a lot, and a lot of people also explain like why he has a great character arc too. He's not a good person. There's not a lot of good people in Attack on Titan, but he's one of the characters where I can understand his character arc too. But the Gabi haters, y'all need to chill, man, because I think she has one of the greatest character arcs in this story too. I was a certified Gabi hater. You guys know how much I love Sasha too. She's in my top 10 for sure. I love her. I got so emotional when she died. I couldn't believe Gabi at the time. But her character arc of understanding why she was so wrong, being able to forgive herself, and then to really be so sorrowful to to Sasha's family, and then to receive like the type of forgiveness she got from Sasha's dad. Like there's just so many full circle moments there where to me as a person, like that encapsulates all about what being a human is.
Right.
It's all about making mistakes, learning from your mistakes, and trying not to make that mistake again. And
Yeah.
trying not to be judgmental. But what really breaks me when people talk so badly about Gabi is that they can't put themselves in a perspective of a brainwashed child. Like, bro, she's not a 40-year-old that has, a logical brain that can think through why you're doing something right and wrong. She's literally like, 12 years old? Like, it's the easiest type of brain to manipulate.
Right.
So I think when people are like just not giving her, they're not giving her flowers for what she's done, and they're so fixated on how horrible she was for killing Sasha, which is not to be justified, but it really just irks me that people hate her so much and don't see the growth she's had as a character.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that a lot of people will come at us for not understanding Flock's character, but understanding Gabi's character, which is not true at all because we do understand Flock's character and we even say so in Special 2. And a lot of people will come at us and say, well, look at all the other warrior candidates that were in the same position as Gabi and they didn't do stuff like that. Well, that defeats the whole purpose of how humans are all designed differently. If Armin was in Aaron's position, he also would not do the rumbling.
Yeah.
So this is exactly why the human brain is complicated and people's choices and personalities and how they grew up are so complex that people learn things differently and
Yeah.
not everyone's same way of learning is linear.
Exactly.
There's so many different ways and sometimes it has to be like that because then you understand the point of what the writer is saying.
Yeah.
And I think we understand forgiveness and the other side through Gabi's action. The
Yeah.
most because she did the most fucked up thing was to
Yeah.
kill Sasha, our most beloved character, and we understand the cycle of war and how she realized that it was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
And how are you supposed to know that unless she did that?
Yeah.
It's through her
right.
character.
It's through her character. Damn, that was beautifully said. She's one of the characters that I just had so much pity for, and I see a lot of people in the comments that just are so hateful towards her, and to me it's just really sad how anyone can hate a child, period. Of course there are really evil children, I'm sure, that are like that grow into evil adults, sure. But she actually has a character arc.
Yeah.
She actually learns from her actions and sees why she was
Wrong.
what she did was wrong.
Yeah. So how could you hate a character like that
Yeah.
who learned from it?
Yeah. So I think obviously maybe these people are just so what's the word I'm looking for? Gung ho on their opinions, and that's fine. But that's why they either just want to hate and say whatever they want. But I have to let that off my chest.
Yeah.
Flock is a whole different story. I'm immature about him because I just can't stand him and he's such a douchebag. But like Mish said, she opened up my eyes to see that he did have a really crazy character arc because he was a little pussy and then he became just an ultimate douchebag, extremist, Jaegerist, on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But
No comment.
not really
there.
much to say about him. Are there any characters that you wanted to discuss before we close this out? But I think those are the two outstanding ones that.
I mean, no, I think you just want to get it off your chest. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was more
There's
than off the
nothing
chest.
really. There's not. I think every character in here is so complex, and there's actually
Yeah.
not a character I truly hate.
Yeah.
It's more of I understand. I
Yeah.
understand why they
Isn't
think
that so
way.
beautiful though? Because
is, yeah.
there's really not many series out there where you cannot handpick someone that you hate. But I think as I've gotten older, I've learned, because when I was a kid, or even just, I don't know, before this channel, it was easier for me to be like, oh, I don't like this character. But because of this channel and because it forces us to be more analytical and really understand the perspectives of characters, it really opens up your mind to seeing why characters move the way they do. And even with Flock, you have to really try to understand his motives.
Yeah.
And I think that's what gave me more, I guess, I was able to sleep at night with his character, even though he was really pissing me off.
Yeah, I think it's because of his actions and him torturing comrades and killing
Yeah.
them because he didn't believe in what he believed is what irked us the most.
Yeah.
And that's why we didn't like his character and the way he was power tripping. I think that's why we didn't like his character. But I mean, just like anyone else in Attack on Titan, he did all those things because he was fighting for parity.
Yeah.
And he was fighting for his people. And he did it all the way till the end and he backed it
He
up.
did. He did. Not many people can do
And
that.
he genuinely believes if he didn't do this, that everyone would come and kill them.
Yeah.
So he did that on his dying breath.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay.
Okay, all
Special
right.
shout out to some other last characters I want to just say. I love Peak and I love Sean. That's it.
I love all of them.
I love all of them so much. Oh yeah, I love Connie. There's just so many good people,
Sasha.
guys.
There's
A lot of
good people.
A lot of great people. A lot of great characters.
Gath,
yeah.
Shades. Shout out to Baddie Mom Carla.
Who?
Carla,
Who's Carla again?
Aaron's mom.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Yeah.
Dina Fritz died.
God,
Grisha
yeah.
was actually a really interesting character.
So-
I
so
actually
many
like
charac-
Zeke.
Yeah, I like Zeke too.
I like
just didn't-
Zeke.
He killed a lot of people too, bro.
Everyone killed a lot of
He-
people.
they killed a lot of fucking people, man. No wonder why this show is really well. For us to not have any characters that we truly, truly hate, like with a vengeance. Maybe we're forgetting people, but maybe I hate King Fritz, the first King Fritz.
Oh,
That
yeah.
guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, I think everyone can
Yeah.
openly say that he sucks. One last piece or one last line that I really loved from Mikasa at the very end was when she said to Ymir, like before she said like rest in peace, she said, "If it weren't for you though, I wouldn't be here." I thought that was really beautiful.
Sorry, who said the who?
Mikasa said that to Ymir
Oh.
at the very end when she said like thank you for, basically she said like rest in peace, and then she said, you did all these horrible things, but what you also did was create me. You know, and so that's so beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a circle of life too.
Yeah.
And there
Get that?
there is like definitely beauty and beauty and tragedy.
Yeah.
So, damn, what a story, guys. I don't know if we'll ever see another Attack on Titan. I don't even know if I want them to do future iterations of this story, because maybe this is one of those things that you just,
Has the writer made any
It's
other
meant-
stories?
I don't know. But I think
Wonder,
this
'cause
is,
he's so
I think
good.
I think Attack on Titan is meant to be one of those like goated animes where it's just supposed to be untouched. Just like leave it alone. This
For
does
sure.
not need to be a live action. This does not need to like have a reboot or something.
No.
But just leave it as it is.
It's crazy because I don't think anything touches Attack on Titan because it's so unique of storytelling and
Yeah.
the world building. There's nothing like it.
Nothing.
It's so different. So I think you're right that there needs to be there doesn't need to be another story to continue it.
Yeah.
It just needs to be this and that's it.
That's it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And I think
Unless they go with that kid
unless they
and he gets the power, but it might be like a different power, a different story.
you
you know,
a
but
different, that would be kind of crazy.
If it's the Titans again, then
Yeah.
I don't know how that would be, you know.
That that might be too much. But people, you know, we know that Attack on Titan is up there as a lot of people's favorites, a lot of people's second or third or whatever. But I love one of the comments I had read where they said, you know, people always want to compare or do like a tiered anime list, but Attack on Titan there will never be another Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
For sure. Period.
Yeah.
So I love this series so much. Damn.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to our long ass
This was
conversation.
2.5 hours, guys.
Attack on Titan podcast,
Yeah.
if you will. We try to give it our all. You know,
I think that was our all.
I think, yeah. I tried to go through my notebook, and I'm like, honestly, you already heard all this shit already.
Yeah, this was very difficult for us too, because this was like we try to be as
Concise.
concise and concentrated for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
This is a long time. That's a long
It's
time.
hard to do. And we were actually gonna react to the openings to endings after this, but we have no more time now, so we have to postpone that to a different day.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Again, we appreciate you guys so much for following us on this journey.
Thank
Nothing is
you.
ever gonna be like Attack on Titan.
I didn't
At least
cry.
for us.
I didn't cry in this outro, guys. Are you proud? The only time I almost cried was when you said I'm like Armin.
Yeah.
That really got me really emotional.
Got me so emotional.
Babe. Okay, last question for you guys. If Mish and I can be any character in this series, who will we be?
Oh,
Let
that's
us
a great
know.
question.
I know, right? Just thought about it right now. Because I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh, I hope I could be Armin, but I don't think I'm as noble as he is. And I
You are
definitely
definitely not.
not get my ass
You're
fried.
definitely not Aaron.
I would literally be the first person in the very first episode that died by a rock, like from the trampling of.
Yeah. Why
fucking-
would you be like Aaron?
No, Armin.
Oh, Armin.
Armin. What the hell?
Oh, I
did I
thought
say
you-
Did I say
Oh,
Aaron?
I thought you said Aaron.
No, Armin. I wouldn't be Armin either.
Oh, you wouldn't be like Armin.
No, I mean I would love
No,
to. but-
personality wise.
Oh, personality for sure.
yeah.
But I would not be like Armin because I could not get my ass roasted the way he did from Bearhold.
Oh, you
And,
can
like-
be anyone in this show then.
That's why I would be the first person that died, like
Yeah,
by the rock.
you would be gone.
I'd be in the trampling.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably be in like the interior police or something like that, like hiding in there.
Yeah.
Or like, you know.
But you're not skilled enough to be in there.
Yeah.
So
Maybe.
no, you would probably be like a Marlian outside living in peace.
Oh, that'd be nice.
No, you'd probably be a Tiber.
That'd be kind of
You'd
cool.
be rich.
Not
Just
bad
living in
luck.
peace.
Just living
you
in
know?
peace until I die.
Yeah.
Until Aaron kills me. Fuck. True.
I would be like Ymir.
Misha. What the hell? I want to be Historia.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be Historia. Yeah, that's way better. I'll be Historia. Misha's Ymir. But I don't want you
I'll
to
be
die.
poor Ymir.
Yeah, babe. Oh my god. Let us know in the comments who you think that Misha and I would be, or in Attack on Titan. But we had so much fun, guys. This has been a long one, but just know if you are still here,
It's not the end.
you have a special place in our hearts for real.
Yeah.
Because if you love this show as much as we do, you're a fucking real one.
Yeah, and I don't know why
And
we
I love
keep
you
acting
already.
like this is the end. We're gonna watch another anime after this. Full
Yeah,
Metal,
I know.
Alchemist,
Still
Brotherhood.
feels like the end.
Peak anime, like everyone said. We're gonna erase Attack on Titan, or sorry, not erase. We're not gonna compare it to Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
And watch it for what it is. And also, we have the opening and endings to react to.
Yeah.
So this is not goodbye.
It's not good.
But thank you for
So
watching.
see you later.
See you later.
Bye, guys.